Jamaica receives first batch of COVID-19 vaccines. Enforcement measures to be ramped up, and government prioritizes women on International Women's Day. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Vaughn Davis. Prime Minister Andrew Holness as Jamaica received its first batch of COVID-19 vaccines on March 8. The 50,000 AstraZeneca vaccines are a gift from the government of India. The island also received its first 14,400 doses of vaccine under the COVAX facility on March 11. Another 1.8 million doses are to be supplied to Jamaica starting in April under the African Medical Supply Platform. This in keeping with the government's plan to secure vaccines for some 2 million Jamaicans. Last Monday, government revealed plans to begin the rollout of its COVID-19 vaccination program on Wednesday. 3,280 doses were administered to healthcare workers on March 10. It's expected that 47,000 doses will be distributed over the next 3 weeks to healthcare workers, members of the Jamaica Defense and Constabulary Forces, as well as persons in the 60 and older age group. By May this year, the government anticipates that the country will be in receipt of a total of 974,800 vaccines. The overall procurement is approximately 4 million doses, and Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the budgetary allocation has been made.
I want to assure the nation, your government is acting with the highest level of responsibility in this regard. Before we take on any vaccine, we have to be sure of its safety and efficacy. We are all free people in Jamaica. Freedom is paramount. Freedom is the ultimate. Freedom is the Jamaican dream. However, we are not free to be irresponsible. With great freedom comes great responsibility. And as a citizen of this country, you have a responsibility, more than enforcement, more than compulsion, but a duty to follow the law.
Prime Minister Holness to Jamaicans Monday night as the island continues to see an increase in its COVID-19 infection and mortality rates. Most of the ICU beds at the island's hospital are at capacity. Mr. Holness says the government remains resolute in its COVID-19 containment measures. As such, persons were warned that tighter measures would be introduced if the positivity rates continue to rise.
These measures will have an impact on the economy. It will have even greater impact on your ability to move. It will have even greater impact on your ability to gather. It really depends on what you do at this point in time.
In the meantime, persons who disobey the COVID-19 containment measures stipulated in the Disaster Risk Management Act will soon be ticketed. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says work is far advanced to have the legislation introduced as part of measures to step up enforcement.
The whole ticketing process is now at our legislative committee, which is the penultimate stage before it reaches Parliament. So we are on track, but there are other measures which will require legislation as well, which we are contemplating. It's not only against the individual not wearing a mask, which may prove difficult in certain circumstances, but really there needs to be greater enforcement against institutions, meaning, business places and other such places where persons gather to transact business or for social interaction.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his government continues to actively prioritize gender equality. He says this is seen in the tangible steps to recruit and promote women, recognizing that women have been innovators and leaders in all areas of national life. Mr. Holness also pointed to the record number of women who are now serving in Parliament. The Prime Minister's comments on International Women's Day are contained in his address for Commonwealth Day. Delivering a common future, connecting innovation and transforming is the theme for this year's Commonwealth Day observation. Mr. Holness affirmed Jamaica's commitment to the 54-member body through the shared goals and core values of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. He said Jamaica continues to play its part in raising awareness to shared issues such as climate change and environmental protection. This is evidenced by the National Tree Planting Campaign, a ban on single-use plastics, as well as the streamlining of development ambitions to meet environmental targets. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.